Hey, good morning everyone, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndromes, and welcome to part 14 of our Let's Play. Now, straight off the bat, I'm very sorry that I, again, couldn't keep to my promise that I'm going to make these episodes like a daily upload. I've been having some severe internet troubles again. So severe that this is actually my fourth attempt to record this episode because I'm constantly getting kicked off the server. I've been flying around for the last 15 minutes though, and it looks like that things have calmed down, and if you can look at the screen right now, you'll notice that this isn't actually one of our characters. The reason for this is actually pretty simple. All of the first season, when we were flying around and getting bigger and bigger ship, was pretty much to show you all the ways you need to make money. As I already mentioned in my first few episodes, was that when you start off on Discovery Freelancer, either as a new player or a returning player, you start from scratch, then your main objective is to acquire as much money as possible so you can get a stable source of income, right? So once you've done that, then you can actually start focusing on how to spend that money. I suppose I need to mention, the music that you're listening to right now in the background is a suggestion by one of my watchers who said that CCP Gray's, sorry man, episodes had this music, and since he has a monetized channel, he's not getting flagged, so I should, you know, try and take these for a moment, because apparently no one likes dubstep. So I took your advice, so enjoy. So, also, since I wanted to start focusing these videos on the characters themselves, I decided it might as well be a good time to show you the actual many ship types of Discovery Freelancer as well. So, one of the big key features of our mod is the fact that not only we have new ships and new items, but we've pretty much tried to make every single ship class flyable. It's not like there's a best or worst ship type, and we're in New York right now, and it looks like we have a system-wide broadcast from the Xeno Alliance, the Radio Free Liberty. Good morning, Liberty! Thank you again for tuning to Radio Free Liberty, your home for the unstoppable truth. Rock and roll. Yeah, because, you know, these are the Xeno Alliance. It's a terrorist faction against the corrupt government of Liberty. But this is not something that we really want to know, or do we? It's an arrow! It's some Fuker in an arrow! This is interesting. I'm actually very tempted to lock my dual missile ship, but I'm going to advise against that. So, usually I would be inclined to engage this fellow, but since we have an episode to do, that actually reminds me, I didn't start a countdown, so I don't know how long this episode's gonna take. Let's see. I quickly need to take my clock. There we go. Let's just say it's been like, what, 2 minutes maybe? It took more duct tape than I thought we had, but we are back on the air broadcasting about the corruption and liberty once more, as if we want to hear about that. So, what is this character of mine? The character's name is Tim Harrison, and as you can see by the ship model, this looks like a Patriot, but it isn't. This is actually the Liberator. As you probably already noticed, a lot of the old ships have been replaced with the upgraded variants to make them combat viable. It means that every single ship that you can afford is good at PvP. It can be used as a PvP ship. So the Liberator is the so-called Mark II Patriot, back in the day when we actually had the old ships and the new ships, which were pretty much the same model, so, you know, we sort of ditched the old ones. As you also see, this thing actually uses Class 6 weaponry, which are specifically made for the light fighter class, because, as you might have guessed, this is in fact a light fighter. So, as far as ship classes go, what are you? You're a traitor. As far as... Greetings. As far as ship classes go, light fighters pretty much are my least favorite class for a number of reasons. And the overall idea behind this class is that you're sacrificing a lot of your hit points and shield points in order to gain a upper hand when it comes to maneuverability. Sadly, when you're talking about Freelancer PvP, mitigating English. Mitigating... I actually forgot what the fuck that word was. Basically, trading damage you take and damage you deal has to do with the amount of hit points and shield you can take. So, you know, in a very heavy fighter... Yeah, actually I need to quickly clarify this. The game is still based around very heavy fighters, so we're going to be comparing all of the ships against them. So the light fighter is technically that thing, slimmed down, less guns, but nonetheless powerful, actually. If we compare these things statistically, like against a very heavy fighter gun, you might actually notice that these things are a bit more powerful, but only because of one reason. You actually run out of core pretty quickly with them, so there you go. Back to the original topic. I don't really like fighters because if you're PvPing in Freelancer, you're sort of expecting to be able to take some damage. And sadly, the light fighter pretty much survives by the fact that it doesn't let... You really want me to shoot you, don't you? Asshole. Popping up my scanner like that all the time. It's like, ah, tempting! No, I'm not gonna shoot you, get away. So yeah, the problem with this thing is, it's a very good ship. A lot of people fly these things just out of fun, but it doesn't allow any mistakes, like one loose nuke mine and you're done for. This is something I really don't like. I actually really don't like insta-killable ships, and the light fighter, sadly, is pretty much one of the most insta-killable ships there is. So, what are we exactly flying today? So this is the Liberty Police characters, right? We have a Liberty Police ID. Now these IDs come with a very special gimmick to them, which is called the Flagsnet. This is something that I actually already mentioned in the episodes where we're doing some sort of smuggling. So what we're going to do is like net all. So as you can see, it's going to monitor the it's going to monitor the traffic. As you can see, we already are having a huge amount. Look, ZA Radio Free Liberty has entered the trade lane at E4. So where's E4? That is E4. And he has exited the trade lane at F5. So he pretty much went to here. This is how you track players by not directly encountering them. But there is another very specific reason why Flagsnet is very useful. For example, if we didn't know better who this guy was, then show scan s, and as you can see, every player has a separate code next to him. So this in this case it's 17. So what is this guy? So Tarantula, nuclear mine, armor upgrade 5. So if I hadn't encountered them, I would already know that it's a Xeno because he's using tarantulas, which is a Xeno gun. So let's try something else. Look, Pacifist Explorer in Texas. Show scan. $? 71. Who is this guy? So he has blue blazes, civilian antimatter cannons, which means it's a bomber. Fury 5s, which means it's not a bomber because bombers cannot use Furies. They cannot use fighter guns. So this must be a super heavy fighter. Armor upgrade Mark 8. Ripper mine. Flashpoint, heavy flashpoint. So my guess this is either a Rastra or something along the lines of I don't know, some of the other super heavy fighters. So this is the whole idea behind the Flagsnet, and why I actually said that when you're entering a house space, then if you're smuggling or transporting some sort of illegal goods, then maybe using the lanes is not a good thing. See, the idea is that I cannot scan you if you haven't taken a lane or a gate. So it means that I can try and scan you, but I haven't seen your ID yet. So what else do we have here? Callista. Show scans. Callista 35. So what is this? Civilian transports, turret, nanocapacitors, and vacationers. So apparently it's a trader. No problem. So net off. There we go. Otherwise, there's a little bit of spam here, especially when the server is kind of full. So there we go. So what else do we have? What else do we have? What can we do with this character? So the idea behind, you know, these sort of characters, lawful characters, is to make sure that the civilian traders don't get harassed by various bad people. So what we're gonna do now is actually go to California, because there's some people there and I want to know who they are. I could scan them, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of this video. I just want to show you some, at least some sort of gameplay on this thing, and maybe this is the part where I actually start to have to, you know, edit these videos just to make them a little bit more interesting. Otherwise, flying around in an empty space is perhaps not the best video you would like to watch. But there you go. I might as well start replying to some of these questions that I had lately. One person asked me, how do I make my guns, like, you know, chain fire without actually having to press the controls? This is a little bit of a trick to it. For example, if you have a gaming mouse, this is going to be easier. If you have a regular mouse, you still have this, you know, middle mouse button. So you go to controls, and this is the thing, Fire Weapon Group 3. Oh, what is this? It's a hegemon with gold ore. Well, this is something bigger. This is something actually so big that I'm gonna actually just go and say, to all Libertonian civilians, avoid the California jump gate at this time. A hostile ship has been sighted. So what I basically did now is make sure that everyone in the system has seen this message. What is this? This is GMG Kamomi transport with a lot of mocks. It's a Gas Miners Guild player. Fair enough. So obviously we're looking for smugglers, we're looking for illegal goods. And something I actually started talking about and never finished, which I actually realized only then, was the fact that I didn't tell you the difference between actual contraband and restricted goods. There's two types of ways how to get in trouble with the law enforcers. One is to blatantly just fly around with contraband, like what do we have there? We have artifacts, we have slaves, we have cardamines, we already made sure we have synthweed, we have civilian pilots, which also count as a contraband. Basically anything that the, you know, surrounding it, lawful NPCs are going to try and take from you is, you know, pretty much considered as contraband. But then there are stuff like illegal goods, like, sorry, not illegal goods, but more like, say, restricted cargo. It means that only specific types of IDs are allowed per roleplay rules. By the way, this is roleplay rules. If you break some of these laws, it doesn't mean a server sanction, right? These are roleplay rules. So some of these things are human organs, which can only be transferred by crier, pharmaceuticals, for example. We also have that new cardamine-like drug. I don't remember it. I really don't remember what the hell it was called. It was something with a P. But yeah, something like that, for example. Some goods are restricted above a certain amount, and all this are pretty much roleplay limitations to make sure that some IDs actually have some very unique treat routes, and are pretty much there for the sake of being there. They don't actually have any significant impact on things. But if you start doing this, if you start hauling them around without knowing that, you can actually get in trouble pretty quickly. So I suppose we're 15 minutes in almost, but there's nothing really going on, sadly. We actually wanted to go to California, but it looks like nothing really is happening there. Although there are plenty of people in Texas, so we might as well go there. So a few things about the light fighter. The thing is, one of the general ideas behind the ship is the fact that if you don't want to get hit, you won't be. This ship survives solely on being very, very hard hit. But the problem is that sometimes it does get hit, and when it does, you can feel it very quickly. And one of the very big problems is that you sort of need to have a very good sense of surroundings. You always need to make sure, like, you keep an eye on your radar, make sure that no one's sneaking up on you, that if a certain player who's on, you know, the hostile side of things is using missiles, then you sort of need to make sure that he's not sneaking up on you. For example, if you're flying in a big fight and you see that a lot of your guys are using capital ships with either flags or large caliber missiles, and if they're shooting the same target as you're shooting, that, you know, it's one of those things where every single mistake you do is probably gonna end up with you looking at the respawn screen, and this is something I really hate the Light Fighter about. I suppose another reason that I really don't like it is the fact that it sort of tracks the wrong sort of mentality. If you undock with a very heavy fighter or bomber or gunboat in a group fight, you sort of look around as like, oh, look at all these reds I can shoot, and I've pretty much seen all the players flying these things as, instead of that mentality, they're sort of like, oh, look at all these people who won't be able to shoot me. I mean, these things can dish out a fair amount of damage, and I really hope that at some point I'm going to be able to show you this, like maybe even this video where I have, like, what, 15 minutes left. I suppose it's about time I actually mention, if I do get into a fight during one of these videos, I'm probably not just going to stop it right there as a cliffhanger, right? Or at least that's the idea. Anyway, we have people in Texas. This is where the Radio Free Liberty also moved in, so let's just see what's going on. Maybe there's something interesting happening, but it doesn't really look like it. But yeah, there's plenty of, you know, types of ships in Discovery Freelancer, and this is just the smallest one of them. These are also called interceptors, mainly because, you know, their cruise speed, they're very easily, they can easily capture other ships. So what is this? Ping target. Let's make sure that's 159 is not that bad. Technically we could try and engage this fellow, but I don't know. Let's take a look. What sort of oh, he has a nuclear mine. This might be a little bit problematic. If Xenos are allowed to pilot spacecrafts, why aren't they extinct yet? Ouch. Ouch. What can I say? Okay, let's see what this guy can do. So one of the reasons why people fly these things is the fact that they are very hard to catch, as I will show you in a moment, hopefully. Kinda need to figure out where this guy's going. Well, this is a rare arrow. He has 2 guns, and he has a nuclear mine, which is sort of bad. Oh look, the police have shown up once again to stop the voice of freedom. Dude, you're spamming in system chats. Freedom of choice can be voiced from 6 to... Not before, not after. I am afraid I will have to fine you for 2 million credits for the lack of consideration. So what are you doing? Are you not flying away from me? And of course, the nicer officer informs me the freedom is in fact regulated under liberty law. That's how it works. Come on. You know, I didn't think that the first video I'm gonna make on this thing is gonna end up with like a firefight between two light fighters. This is gonna be amusing as hell. Until I hit a nuclear mine, that is. Okay, I have like 10 minutes left on this video, might as well start shooting him now. Seriously? In before angry PMs. You can shut down the broadcast for a moment, but you'll never stop it for long. Okay. Pretty much. Well then. Well, I really didn't expect that to happen. What's going on? I missed something. Jack, what? Smuggler inbound from Cali, see it, catch him, good job. Did you just let a smuggler escape? I think they're in the field. I think they are in the field. Well, that was the first blue on this character. I just realized that I might want to... Where are these? Do I have to really do this again? Background stars. Where are you, assholes? Oh, there you are. See, this is the only thing that works, sadly. Time to assist my peeps, then. Although it already looks like they have plenty of people shooting it. Oh, it's a rogue Desi! Wait for me! So yeah, attacking caps in a light fighter, probably not a very good idea. Mainly due to the amount of damage that the cruiser actually can dish out. And the fact that... Oh, I'm... Rip. Rest in peaches. I did not expect you not to dodge in an arrow. Well, sorry! You didn't dodge! What? I need a flat keyboard. Screw this thing, it's very hard to type. The Illness Bruiser. That's Snack, I think. Might as well be. Okay, so what? This character is only that minutes long, and like we already have 2 blues. Well, at least we've got into 2 fights. One of them wasn't really a fight. But there you go. Hopefully I'll be able to show something where the light fighter is, you know, actually pretty useful, for example. I don't know. Hey, what's going on? Pirates in California? Nice. We might as well go there then. Actually, we might as well make that into our second video. Going to nail it. Nail it! That really did look awesome. So you can see how much faster this thing is than average ships. We are going at 425. This guy's pretty much going at 320, maybe? So what's going on? Are we going after those pirates or not? Or this guy's probably going to. Oh, who the fuck is that? Oh. Hey, look, it's a behemoth. Alright. So this guy's probably a new player and he's making a mistake that a lot of people do. I will probably need to make a separate video about this, about the laws of houses. Reaper Zone... You are sort of making things a tad bit obvious. Are sitting so close to one of our largest and most patrolled routes. I'm a freelancer, do really believe I would do this on my personal opinion. What is this guy? He's empty. So yeah, so the idea is that we are at war with Rainland, so obviously Rainland ships are forbidden to enter Liberty. This guy's a freelancer, but that does not exempt him from that fact. Second, I have a... Yeah, I think we're gonna cut this video right here, though. I'm pretty sure they can deal with this guy. Yeah, might as well. So yeah, in the next episode we're going to make a heavy fighter and gonna talk about those a little bit. But until then, fly safe. And don't get sanctioned and read the rules, please. Please.